To be honest, it was pretty easy. The summer was great. We had our guys here for our foreign tour before we went to Japan. We got to build chemistry and put everything in early, and that's important with a group of 6 freshmen, especially. And then Japan was great for us, and then we built our chemistry even further. We did a great job of competing over there and seeing kind of what to expect in terms of our lineup, and then. Obviously, the change occurred, and then the guys have been rock solid from the jump. They never wavered in their work ethic, never wavered in their attention to detail and their focus, and a lot of credit goes to these 2 guys and how they've kind of rallied the troops in a time of adversity. And our guys have kind of been really rock solid in terms of just being tunnel vision to moving forward.
Maurice, what's the adjustment been like for you in the head coach's role here for the last 5-6 years or so?
Obviously, there's certain things from a head coaching position that you have to deal with that you don't have to deal with an assistant. But in the grand scheme of things, the major focus is just to bring energy and enthusiasm on a daily basis, which we always have done, and to focus on getting better on a daily basis, which we always have done, and to get better and really try to peak towards the end of the year and build our season in that respect. And so that our goals haven't changed. Our goals haven't changed. Our work ethic hasn't changed. So in that regard, it's been really an easy transition.
How was kind of the atmosphere like in the locker room throughout the summer when you had the coaching change, and now you have different coach this season? Kind of what's the mood among the team and the players?
Well, I mean, obviously, with 7 new guys, it's a lot getting to know each other. I mean, the Japan trip was great, just spending a lot of time with everyone. And 6 freshmen. I mean, I'm old now, so it's interesting being around all these 18-year-olds. But they bring a lot of good young energy. It's fun, and we've just been going to work. And that started in the summer with the extra practices you get with a foreign tour, then just continuing throughout the change and just moving forward as a unit, just staying positive and continuing to grow as a team, because we got teams on our schedule that don't care who's coaching us. Yeah, I mean, me, Matt, Jaron Cena, Patrick Steves, Judah, the older guys, we just have to continue to lead. I mean, obviously it's going to be difficult with a lot of young guys learning the importance of every possession, every game, how each little detail matters. So just stressing that each day in practice and then continuing into the games. I mean, we've been improving each week, and that's what we just have to continue to do as we move forward.
For Tyler and Matt, how has Maurice kind of handled things and helped hold things together for you guys here over the last month or so?
I mean, he's been great. I mean, positive, lots of energy, bouncing around the floor, keeping us in our drills. And that's been great for all of us, and just continuing to move forward and focus on the details of the game, the nuances of the game, and just dive into practice full speed ahead, because, like I said, we just got to get ready and prepare for these teams.
Yeah,
Matt, you want to add to that?
yeah, I agree with Tyler. The 2 things that Coach Joseph stresses is energy and effort. Every practice he says it's non-negotiable, and I love that. He brings so much energy to practice, and I think it's perfect for, especially when you have a group of young guys who haven't experienced college basketball. I think they need to understand that you have to give energy and effort on every possession, even if it's practice or game, anything.
Matt, how much responsibility do you feel in terms of leadership, not just with the younger team, but with a group of veterans like Patricio and Kevin and Joe gone?
Right. I mean, with a group of great seniors who leave, it's always, someone always has to step up. And I think Tyler and I have, we're happy to fill that role. And, he'll agree with me when we say we accept all challenges, and I think this is a challenge. And, we love taking it head on and being leaders for this team.
Along with that,
looking at your rotation from last year, having so many new guys, mentioning tempo, you like to go up and down the court. Do you think that your tempo will affect how many players you play? What's your style of coaching? Do you want this team to run more? What are some of the things that you want GW basketball to do?
Well, I definitely think playing up tempo is something we want to do more than we have in the past. I think for the first time since we've been here, we have a lot of depth in our front court, and that helps a great deal in terms of being able to play faster and get guys in and out. in terms of playing differently. We're not going to play very differently. We are going to do some things differently in terms of schemes and terminology defensively. But we're going to hang our hats on defending and rebounding. I think that's what I've been taught wins, and that's what's been proven to win. When you look back at it, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that on a daily basis. We're working on that on a daily basis. And but again, the front court depth that we have will allow us to play a little faster than we have in the past. And I think the talent level and the skill level that we have will allow us to do that as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those pieces work well together. And we've got a glimpse of that in Japan and over the last month in practice. And so far it's coming together pretty nicely. And we just got to carry it over to games now.
Along with the leadership loss due to graduation, it's also a big chunk of offensive production. Have you guys changed things offensively, or who's really stepped up in terms of taking on that offensive role?
In terms of changing the offense, again, I think we did a lot of good things last year in terms of sets and shot distribution and all that. So we didn't have to reinvent the wheel in that regard. But in terms of scoring output, losing Patricio and Joe and Kevin obviously puts a little ding in your production. But you're going to have to do it by committee. Patrick Steves is going to be a big part of that. These two guys obviously going to be a big part of that. Tyler especially is going to be a big part of that. And then Yuta, I expect him to take a big jump. He had a great summer in the weight room and strength and conditioning, and he's taken a jump forward in his confidence, and he knows now that he's going to be able to step into a bigger role in terms of needing to produce for us. So I'm looking forward to seeing him embrace that challenge and carry it over to throughout the season. And again, it's going to be by committee. We're stressing guarding as a team, playing for each other, not just with each other, and we're gonna attack this thing from a collective standpoint. And I think the wins and losses have kind of figured itself out, and the production will also kind of sort itself out if we just continue to focus on getting better together.
There's obviously a lot of change, and for you, coaching as an assistant, and then you're thrust into the head coaching role. Take us, I guess, through what those emotions are like, or is it the kind of thing where you're thrust into that role, you get the job, and then it's, here I go, but knowing that there was a lot that happened that led to you getting to that point. So just kind of the emotions.
Well, in terms of that, I addressed the motions and the details of it at Media Day out in Pittsburgh. And moving forward, I think there's really no time to dwell on emotions or what happened in the past. Like Tyler said, some of these teams in our league who are picked ahead of us or below us really don't care about a coaching change. When the ball goes up, they're going to try to beat us, period. So we got to attack it like that. We have no time to dwell on the past. All we can do is really focus on moving forward and attacking the season with everything in our fiber, and that's what we've done. That's what these guys have done, and that's what we'll continue to do for the remainder of the season.
And Matt, is there still momentum from winning the NIT that you can carry over into the season, or is that too far in the past for you guys?
Obviously it's a big deal, winning that. But from all that's happened, I think, especially losing important guys, I think it's kind of, this is a new season. We're focused on winning, beating every team on our schedule. With all the new guys, we're focused on getting them ready to go. So I think it's, obviously it's there, and, we're happy about it, but it's a new season, and we're ready for this upcoming, all these games and everything.
Tyler and Matt, back to the Japan trip. What was the competition kind of like over there? Did you guys kind of go in expecting to win all those 4 exhibitions? And just what was it like playing there and competition?
It was awesome. Seeing Yuta in his home country, the stands were packed every game. So, most teams can go on foreign trips and not have many people in the stands, but we were fortunate enough to have people waiting for us when we were walking out to the bus after the game just because of Yuta. So, it was great. The people were great. Of course, we expect to win every game we play. So we went out there and we played well, and that was great for us. And just to be able to play in different arenas and play in front of 5,000 people each night is great, especially for the young guys, to be able to go in a real game atmosphere with real officials and just continue to improve.
Is that
You talked about you want to hang your hats on defense and rebounding, and you said you want to get up and down the court a little bit more. What's something else you think your team needs to work on, just now heading into the season?
I think controlling the controllables is something that I've been stressing that we can work on. You can't always predict how well you're going to shoot the ball. You can't always predict how well you're going to execute. But if we choose to be, we can be the most energetic and enthusiastic team in the country. That's something we can control. So if we can control the controllables, I think we can we can do some good things this year. And again, we just have to focus on it on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And then keep working at it and take it day by day, drill by drill. And that's how our players are approaching it. That's how myself and my staff are approaching it. And that's how we're gonna keep moving forward.
Tyler, given the offseason, just how much have you and the rest of the team kind of embraced the routine of practice, the chance to play games here soon, just kind of that being a normal, regular type of thing?
Yeah, it's been great to get back, just get on the court and play and move forward, as we've been saying. And I mean, that's what we need. So, I mean, like we stressed, the young guys, just getting on the court, getting used to their games, especially the transfers as well. I mean, everyone's going to have to play a pivotal role for us. We're going to play a good amount of guys. And we just have to get ready for the season. And practice have been great, but, I mean, any preseason at this point, you're ready to play someone else. So we're excited for Saturday.
Mojo, you talked about the front court, but how about your ball handling in the backcourt? Jaron Cena has to be the number one point guard. Who's your backup point guard, or is it going to be by committee? What are you thinking about that one?
Well, we're gonna have a couple guys play that position for us, and again, Jaron Cena is a big part of that. I think he'll see the bulk of the minutes at that position, and then Jair Bolin, our freshman, as well as Matt Hart, who will see some minutes at point as well. We've prepared in practice for those two guys to back up with that position and to also play some off the ball. The good thing about their ability and their talent levels is that we can move them on and off the ball, and we can do a couple different things with our lineup. So Jair is different than Matt in the sense that he's a bigger and more physical guard. Matt's obviously a tremendous shooter, so he brings that kind of that angle to the position. So we can do a lot of different things from that position. But Jaron Cena has solidified himself as our guy who will be handling the ball, and he's been great in practice from a leadership standpoint, from an execution standpoint, from a getting guys involved standpoint, and he understands when to get himself involved and get his own shots. So he's done a great job, and he's a guy who has experience, who spent a year in our program, kind of seeing things from his redshirt year and kind of figuring out how he'd fit in. And he came in hitting the ground running. So he's been great thus far for us.
Mojo, Jordan Rowland was a guy that you guys were able to get in a fair amount, as a reserve last year. How much progress has he made, and how significant a role does he see in playing?
Jordan's made a big jump. I think obviously coming in as a freshman, playing behind guys like Alex Matola and Patricia Garino, obviously he's just going to be a learning curve, and having to compete against those guys on a daily basis. I think he got a firsthand look of how much he needed to improve, how much of a jump he needed to make, and I think he's done a good job of working this summer, getting stronger, doing the things he needs to do to make that jump. And we expect him to make that jump this year, and play more minutes, play a more prominent role, to be able to defend on and off the ball and do some different things for us. He was great in our 1-3-1. He was our leader in deflections, even with deflections per minute, even how little he played last year. But he'll make a bigger jump now that he'll get more minutes. He'll be able to play a little more through mistakes, and we expect him to make a jump for us. We need him to make a jump for us, so we look forward to seeing how he takes on that challenge.
Coach, you obviously played under your great head coach, Tom Izzo. Has he given you any advice as you're heading into this new role?
Yeah, Coach Izzo's been great. He's him and I have we've spoken regularly over the years. I think we've spoken more in the last month than we have in the past 3-4 years. But he's been great. Obviously, he's a guy who's been through it all. He's a national champion. He's been to multiple Final Fours. And he's coaching a plethora of guys, so he's been through it all in terms of coaching ranks. So he's giving me great advice and just kind of certain things to expect, how to handle certain situations. I'm not going to go into all the details of what we spoke about, but he's been great in terms of being generous with his time and just giving me advice and how to prepare for certain things, and from an X's and O's standpoint to off the court standpoint. He's been tremendous with helping me out. We lost a lot. The pick is the pick. There's people who are appointed to make those decisions, and whether we like it or not, our approach doesn't change. Whether we're first, we're going to go to work. Whether we're 14th, we're going to go to work. So our approach won't change, and our guys know that. The guys know that that's where our staff's mind is, and we're fine with that. So we understand that what happens in October is irrelevant. What happens in February, March, that really matters. So regardless of our pick, we'll be going to work.
Anything else? Okay, thanks guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.